Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth don't speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes when the truth don't speak. Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank. Candid.
Straight to the point.
If nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide from when. Everybody tough when the lights are bright. Different story when it's dark outside at 10. I done seen pride make kings collapse. Seen weak minds get trapped in traps. Seen good people never fight back. Seen fake leaders disappear too fast. So I speak for the workers, speak for the tired, speak for the people still trying to climb higher. Speak for the ones still building through fire, trying to lead this world better than prior. And if the truth hurt, let it hurt a little. Growth don't happen staying safe in the middle. Either build your life or become a riddle. Either move the crowd or get played like fiddle. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes when the truth gon' speak. Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Oh! Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, candid.
Straight to the point, to the point.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Dr. Ken Harrison. This is, I don't know what this is. It's supposed to be Dr. Ken's Truth, but there is so much stuff going on. All I can say is you can check me out here every Monday through Thursday, God willing. There's so many stories today. What I want to talk about in my open, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I don't even want to. Have you heard what's going on in Wisconsin? Like Madison and Milwaukee, they're just, I don't know what it is. Anyway, welcome. I'm here every Monday through Friday. I'm sorry, Monday through. See, it got me so rattled. I don't know what day it is, and it's on the and it's on the banner right there in front of you. Dr. Ken's Truth, Monday through Thursday at 4. If you want to support the show, you can go to my swag at drkenswag.printify.me. Help it out if you want to reach out to me. I'm at drkenstruth@gmail.com. We're here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and today we're on Instagram. It is just out of control. Milwaukee politics is utterly and totally trash. It has gone into, I don't know what's going on. but we're going to get to it. I was going to talk about Madison, but I'm going to talk about Madison later. I'm going to flip this back to what's going on here in the city of Milwaukee. But first, let me check my YouTube chat to make sure I see everybody that's going on. Hey, what's up? RN Kwanda. Good morning and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome, and good evening. Just depending on whether or not you're listening or watching here on YouTube or on Spotify. So study hall is in full effect. So we're moving on. SE, what's going on? Hey, Todd, how are you? Hope everybody's doing well. Todd said his back hurt. Todd said too much. He said much better from last. Well, Kwanda's feeling much better from last week. Thanks for asking. You know, they being all nice. And then, hey, what's up? Is Sincere up in here? Okay, there he is. What's up, SRRR? Sincere Ronnie Ray Real. Todd said, my back has been horrible. Takes a couple hours in the morning to get right. Don't get old, Kwanda. Wow. Speak for yourself. Anyway, Kwanda says she promises not to get old. What? There's only one way not to do that. You don't want that. Hey, what's up, Sir Chance? Who else is up in here? Willie Jones. What's going on? And Kathleen, how are you? Looking forward to being educated by your show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Doc, run the doggone thing till 5 o'clock, nonstop, commercial free with her point on to the yeah. So y'all don't like me taking breaks. I should just pass out in the middle of the show because I got to do too much and situate too much stuff. Okay. All right, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to go as long as I can. And the only reason, hey, what's up, Juan? How's it going? I know that guy. Anyway, what's up, Juan? How's it going? He said, greetings from Arizona. That's what's up. Kwanda said, no, read it correctly. Read what correctly? Okay, what did Kwanda say? Kwanda say. So you tell me to do a long stroll, but you want me to read all the stuff. It said, but Todd, I definitely hope you feel better and take it easy. And then Kwanda said, I promise not to, Todd. I'll get seasoned. Calling it something different don't. Anyway, I'm done. One of the reasons I'm done, I got to tell you this story. It's from NBC News. That's how far this story has gone. Controversial old social media account linked to Wisconsin Democrat gubernatorial governor David Crowley. It has made national news. Crowley's campaign confirmed, this from NBC.com, and I'm reading it through TMJ4.com. Crowley's campaign confirmed to NBC News that he registered the account but denied owning any of the controversial points, saying it was operated by 10 to 12 others to promote a bar and social club. So let's take a look at this. So let me see if I can share my screen because I'm gonna see what I can do. I want you to see this. I want you to look at this story. Now, I'm gonna bring it in. Look at this story, right? Let me make it bigger so everybody can see it because I want you to be able to read it. All right. So here's the story. Old social media account with controversial photos about women, race, derogatory comments toward the LGBTQ community has been connected to Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who recently relaunched his Democratic primary campaign for governor. The story was first posted NBC News exclusive, which went on a deep dive into a 16-year-old account on X, formerly known as Twitter, that is registered to the gubernatorial candidate. According to the report, the account, which used a pseudonym, was active from 2010 to 2014, with the majority of the posts being made in 2010 ranging from completely mundane to what's called totally offensive. Crowley's campaign confirmed he registered the account using his personal email address, mistake number one, and did write some of the posts. However, denied he authored any of the controversial posts. It was operated with 10 or 12 others to promote a bar and social club. That's according to NBC News. Crowley's among 5 candidates, of course, succeeding looking to succeed Governor Tony Evers, who avoided backing anyone in the race, which included his own current Lieutenant Governor, Sarah Rodriguez, who kind of booted herself out the race with some financial shenanigans by her campaign manager or somebody that they're investigating. His former Lieutenant Governor, Mandela Barnes, and a former department secretary in his administration, that's according to NBC News. Comes less than a week, of course, as I just said, when Rodriguez suspended her campaign with inaccuracies in her financial reporting. Candidates run in the Democratic Party are Mandela Barnes, Joel Brennan, David Crowley, Francesca, oh my God, Hong, and Kelda Royce. Y'all just gave Francesca Hong the nomination, hands down. You just gave it to her. So look at the numbers here. Hong holds 26% support from Democratic primary voters in a head-to-head matchup captured when Crowley was out of the race. Mandela Barnes had 15, Sarah Rodriguez, who dropped out of the race, had 11, Joel Brennan at 2, Kelda Royce at 1. Who leaked this? Who leaked it? Who decided that a Democratic, I don't know what you call it, socialist, should run the state of Wisconsin? Absolutely idiotic. Makes absolutely no sense. None. Absolutely none. Only in Wisconsin. These are Democrats. Democrats tearing each other up. These Republicans will just buy you out. This is what Democrats do. Idiotic. This is what we have to look forward to the quality of candidate, where you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the race. Now it's 5. So let me get this right. David Crowley is not in the race, gets in the race, gets out the race, back in the race, and is about to get booted. So my question to you, and I guess I need to do a YouTube poll, and if you're not in YouTube, you can just go to Dr. Ken's Truth and subscribe, and you can follow me. You can take the poll. Should David Crowley drop out of the Wisconsin governor's race? And it's a simple yes or no. And I love doing it live because that way you know I'm not lying to you, and everybody that's in the YouTube channel here. Yes or no? Should he drop out the race? Oh, my bad. Should he drop out the race again? I'm just saying. Should he drop out the race again? So we don't, for the life of me, how does this work? How does this work? First of all, how did you get so many people in the race? The Democratic Party doesn't control its members enough where they actually can't trim down the race. A Democratic socialist? Half the stuff she want to do, we're not doing. Half the things that she's saying we can do, we're not doing. I got mail from her at my house today. Like, really? I mean, I get it. I'm a registered voter. But at some point, national news? Now, here's the flip side to that. I'm not embarrassed, and I'm sure he's not either. You should have come clean from the very beginning. You're 24 years old. People are still stupid at 24 years old. Me included. You included. But come on. Come on. Sincere said, laughing my blank off, you want quality in that race bad, huh? You just did a poll about him just the other day, didn't you? Got some inconsistencies going on. No, I don't. I go both. I'm open. I think he'd make a great governor. I hope he wins. But is this going to help him win? I'm not saying he should drop out. I never said that today. I didn't say he should drop out. Todd said better call Nancy Pelosi. Better call Paul Pelosi. But anyway, it just makes no sense. I don't understand how we can have a Democratic Party in the state of Wisconsin that does not control people in the party. Now, here's the other problem. They really need somebody that's in the party but is willing to step outside of the nonsensical labeling like Democratic Socialists and actually be a good governor. And at that point, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I just don't care. I just want the best thing and the best people in office. Why is that so hard for the Democratic Party? How many people are running in the Republican? Maybe one, maybe two. They pull people out the race. Hey, player, you're not going. We're not giving you no money. We called everybody and we told them not to give you any money. So you can run if you want to, but you better get your money from somewhere else because we told everybody in the region, don't give you no money. Dems let everybody run. Oh, that's cool. You want to run? That's great. I think I can beat you. If Nancy Pelosi, Todd says she ran a tight ship. If Nancy Pelosi ran Wisconsin, we would not have this nonsense. Sincere say, I'm saying him. He got his right foot in and his right foot out, then right back in. Now it's shake it all about. Wow. I should have titled this show The Hokey Pokey. But that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what we're watching. And he ain't the only one. If he can come back, I guess Sarah Rodriguez can come back too. Let everybody do the hokey pokey. But they'll be playing musical chairs, right? They'll be playing musical chairs. Who's going to win, you know? Or is it Pop Goes the Weasel? I don't know. It just makes no sense. Now you have made national. Wisconsin always ends up in national news doing something stupid. I'm telling you, every single time I do something, go somewhere, or I'm not on the air, even when I was at that other radio station, some nonsense would happen and people start calling me. I can always tell. I always get a phone call. Hey, did you hear? What are you talking about? Oh, you out of town? Oh, yeah, look at this. And I look at it and it's like, boom, something blew up. Sir Chan said, man, he should stay in and fight. No flight because all of them shenanigans they pull out of that decade-old rabbit's hat is all bark and no bite. Funny how nothing was pulled when he first entered. Oh, they had it, but they got to wait till you get your numbers. And if your numbers get up too high, you got to get rid of you. See, here's what I think. I think Mandela Barnes is running, and he's not going to win. He knows he's not going to win. He's been beat at every single turn that he's had. He's been beaten every single time, except when he ran for his, what was it, state rep or state senator, whatever. He lost every other race. If Francesca Hong wins governor, because, you know, once she wins the nomination, everybody will shift and start supporting whoever the nominee is against Tom Tiffany, who's has his head inside. Anyway, so what was promised to Mandela? What was promised to Mandela Barnes that somebody would support it? Nobody spoke up and said, got to give the candidate a chance. It was 14 years, like how many years ago? 16 years, whatever. But now it's national news. Why would that make national news? Why would anybody care about a county executive running for governor in Wisconsin of all things? We're not even a swing state anymore. I just don't get it. Todd said Mandela sounds vindictive. Well, we don't know if Mandela Barnes leaked it. Like, we don't know. We don't know who did. It's opposition, right? We have opposition. You know, we look at other people's past and dig through there. When somebody was thinking about appointing me, not somebody, when Scott Walker was thinking about appointing me as sheriff, they dug through my background. This is how it is. National magazines running pictures. You could tell they didn't like me or they didn't want me to have it. They wanted the white female to have it because everybody's picture was jacked except hers. They found the prettiest picture and the nicest picture. It was just, politics. The politics of Wisconsin is trash. It is absolute trash. And I don't understand. Well, like I said, I don't understand, but I do understand it. I'm just saying. Is Babar in here yet? Because the only reason I do weather is because of Babar. The only reason I do it is Babar. Currently, let me see what the weather is right now, because it's supposed to be 77 degrees. The high was 79, and the low tonight is going to be about 63, 0% chance of rain. So looks like we'll make it today. Looks like we'll make it through the day. I just don't understand this. Democrats have screwed the pooch. They have stepped in it and just ruined it. Now, let's flip this over. Should this ruin your reputation? Should this make people feel like you're a lesser of a person? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Hey, what's up, LT? Thanks for joining us. He said, no, Babar be with the, oh, okay. So what do we do? What exactly do we do? I have so much 5 before 5 that I can spend 10 minutes on each story. I can talk about each one. And it just drives me like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Hey, what's up, Lucretia? Thanks for joining us. All right, so as we move forward, let's I'm just gonna jump into the 5 before 5 because the way that it's going, I think that these stories will actually surprise you. I really do. I think they will make you wake up and see some things that you haven't really seen in a while. And one of them is some of the dumb things that we do, some of the dumb things that we say. Now, and I'm going to get to the Madison story, right? I'm going to get to the shooting and the protesting and all that stuff. But at some point, we as people, as citizens of the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin are going to have to wake up to what people are saying and doing and not be so intent to follow just one party, regardless of what the party is, and just swallow whatever they tell us, because it makes no sense. Am I saying be a Republican? No. Am I saying be a Democrat? Well, no. I'm saying be a conscience-driven person and figure out what it is you want to do, because in the end, the only person you're responsible for in terms of life, identity, integrity, and voting is you.
Number 5.
So homecoming season is coming up. Have y'all seen that? Homecoming season. So the biggest HBCU homecoming. Did anybody go to? Have you ever been to a white school homecoming? It's kind of boring. Like it really is kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Yeah. This from theroot.com. It may only be midsummer, but HBCU homecoming chatter is already taking over. On July 19th, North Carolina A&T launched its 100-day countdown to their greatest homecoming on earth, when a record-breaking 200,000 people are expected to flood Greensboro, North Carolina University's historic centennial celebration, setting the stage for one of the biggest Black cultural events of the year. But is it the biggest? I don't know. A&T has their 100th, and Jackson State, they have huge ones, and so does Howard University. So I don't know which one is bigger. But some of them are flexing, like $50 million to have a party. So I think it's cool. I think it's great. So should I go? Am I going? No.
Number 4.
All right. Do we need the scooter police? I say yes. Do we need the scooter police? Yep. You know why? CBS 58 has a story. A woman is recovering after serious injuries. This is the second or third one in about a week, 2 weeks. After friends say she was hit by someone riding a Lime scooter on the sidewalk. Now, city officials and Milwaukee residents are once again raising questions about the future of Lime scooters in the city. One record's decision can change everything. 71-year-old woman didn't want to be identified, hit by a person. And then the rider fled. How do you flee on a Lime scooter? How fast do those things go? Anybody know? How fast do those things go? By the way, if you're here, I want to say thank you on the YouTube. We're live on YouTube every day at 4, Monday through Thursday. LinkedIn, and we're on IG today. Anybody know how fast does a Lime scooter go? Matter of fact, let me do this right now. How fast can a Lime scooter go? All right. Some guy said he got it up to 17.3 miles per hour. You can die getting hit by something at 5 miles an hour if it hits you right. 71-year-old woman got hit by a Lime scooter that was on the sidewalk. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't get it. Why do we even let them on the street? But the funny part, you fled. And the weird part is it's like back in the day when people used to commit crimes, they would all dress in blue jeans, white t-shirt, and a bandana. So you really couldn't tell who was who. Right? Flee the scene downtown or on Brady Street in a Lime scooter. And there are like 15 others around. So unless you can really see the person riding it, and I'm not going to lie, the worst identification is always made across race lines. Does that make sense? Black people can identify other black people. White people can identify other white people. But we are terrible at identifying each other. Why is that? Because most people think people of another race that's different from theirs all look alike. So anyway, I digress.
Number 3.
This from fox6now.com. This is an interesting story. Is a water bottle dispute worth a bullet? I don't think so. Cosetta Burrell faces 22 counts after allegedly shooting a 12-year-old boy in Milwaukee. Prosecutors said the shooting stemmed from a dispute between children selling water. So if you want to protest about something, you should protest about Cosetta Burrell. Burrell led police on nearly a 6-mile pursuit with 4 of her kids in the car. Has a history of criminal convictions going back years. Just released from prison, is prohibited from having a gun, and is waiting for a trial on a different felony case. Prosecutor says she searched for and shot a 12-year-old boy over a dispute between the boy and her son over street side turf, selling water bottles. Now she got 22 counts on top of the other felony, on top of getting out of prison and going on a high-speed chase with kids in the car. Shot a 12-year-old on 60th and Silver Spring. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Commissioner Barry Phillips said there's so much going on in this complaint. Here you have what started as a dispute between 2 groups of children for water bottle selling turf. That's what the Milwaukee County Assistant District Attorney Mallory Davis said. Bond was set at $100,000. She'd due back in court next week. Burrell's girlfriend and other children drove around the neighborhood looking for a 12-year-old. Court filing said Burrell shot at the boy's brother, hit a nearby house that had people inside, including a 2-year-old child. That was on July 17th. Of course, that camera system that police seem to always want to, misuse and get fired over. Flock later spotted the suspect vehicle, and when deputies tried to pull her over, 6-mile pursuit, kids in the car, 80 miles an hour. Think about that. Guess how long she'd been out of prison? 11 days. For a child abuse conviction where the underlying victim in the child abuse case is one of the children that was in the car. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. But when they, of course, recorded her jail phone calls, she called herself a hero. A hero? A hero of what? Makes no sense.
Number 2.
Well, we talked about it, and I'm going to talk about it again. David Crowley made the national news by getting himself in deep trouble. In deep trouble. This from WTMJ4 and NBC News. Story first reported on NBC News Exclusive, which kind of went deep into the story. But basically, there was an X account, formerly known as Twitter, that was active from 2010 to 2014. Majority of posts made in 2010, ranging from mundane to offensive. But David Crowley, the Milwaukee County executive who's now running for Wisconsin's governor, confirmed that he registered the account using his personal email address, did write some of the posts, but said he never wrote any of the bad ones. Me? Never. But did you support it? We don't know. And I'm not going to put that on him. All I'm saying is that this is the guy that was Milwaukee County executive, got into the race, got out the race, got back in the race. The governor endorsed him, and now we're sitting here trying to figure out what is Wisconsin Democratic Party doing. Because you know what? I don't think they know.
Number 1.
Number 1 story of the day, and if you missed it, make sure that you go online and check the stories from CBS 58 News. An investigation is underway. I don't know if you've heard, there was a fatal shooting of a man by a Madison police officer. Investigation is ongoing. Video of the shooting that happened on Wednesday, July 22nd, that was yesterday, was shared widely on social media. Well, today, community members gathered at the intersection where the shooting took place. Large memorial was formed for the guy. His name was Corey Ruiz. The shooting happened around 1 o'clock yesterday. Police say they got a call that a man was stealing bicycles and checking vehicle doors. And when they got there, they located him. He fled the area on a bicycle around 1:30. They located him at an intersection. Video shows the man taking out a knife during the struggle. Police say Ruiz injured an officer as they attempted to arrest him. Officers deployed a taser, but it didn't work. The officer who was also cut with a knife was also the officer who fired his weapon. Video circulating online shows the officer shoot Ruiz. People at the scene said they were shocked when they saw the video. Deborah Baker, a protester, said in disbelief the simple fact that they had already had the knife out of his hands went behind his back, and it was already 3 or 4 officers on him. For you to pull out your gun and shoot him 3 times in the head and still give him CPR if you think that he is here and you know he is not, is just diabolical to me. Now, let me add something to this. 4 officers were involved in the incident. Second officer was injured during the arrest. 2 others were not hurt. There's a vigil tonight. Let me see what intersection that is in Madison. Near Baldwin and Williamson in Madison tonight at 5 o'clock. I want to be sensitive to the family. I want to be sensitive to the officers. Both sides will then hate the other side and hate me for saying it. But I try to look at and deal with things like this from the middle. Reason being, I want to try to take a journalistic look at what exactly happened. We have an investigation going on by the State Department of Criminal Investigation. We call it DCI in Wisconsin. And we have others that are looking into it. But I watched the 3 o'clock news conference from Madison, and a brother, black man, interrupted, and, going back and forth. Then another woman interrupted, and there's profanities being shouted back and forth. And some of the people asked them to quiet down. And then the guy that asked them to quiet down got told, if you by another guy, be careful. And if you say something to her or speak something, I'm going to beat your blankety blank. And they were using the F word and the M. It just got out of hand. We have to come to grips with there are times that the police do things in our community. Sometimes they over-police our community. And sometimes they kill us, both men and women. There's also the side that you have to act right, that you can't get into these skirmishes with the police, because I try to tell people all the time, you're going to lose. The question we have to ask ourselves is, who's the public going to believe? And I'm going to get to the YouTube chat when I'm done with this, but who's the public going to believe? They have video of the knife. Why are you fighting with the police? So they talk about de-escalating, but can you de-escalate somebody with a weapon? De-escalate somebody with a knife? This is going to be covered. And I find it ironic that Governor Evers is calling for transparency. Let's have transparency on both sides. Let's look at both. Let's look at the officer. Let's look at the person. Here's what I've learned. Nearly 3 decades of wearing a badge. Every police shooting, they say it's 2 events, but I think it's 3. The police side, the community side, and the right side. We're talking about something that happened in a few seconds. Right? But let's flip this. There's another set of events where the first event is a few seconds on the street of the shooting. The next event is the court of public opinion. And sometimes they match and sometimes they don't. The problem today is the second story becomes the first one before it's fully understood. Cell phone video, 15-second clip. Next thing you know, everything's viral. People make conclusions. They make political questions and statements, and everybody bashes the police. So we need more community this and community that. And they're not even done with their investigation. It's like a day old. They got to talk to witnesses. They got to get forensic information, forensic evidence, all that. Nothing's been released and everybody has a side. And I'm not saying people shouldn't ask questions, but let's just be equally honest. Corey had a right to go home that night, and so did the police. So if you're attacking somebody with a weapon, and that is not disputed, if you're attacking someone with a weapon, it still doesn't mean you need to die. But like every other citizen in the country, you have a legal and a moral right to defend your life. And they'll figure out what happened. I don't know if Madison has body cameras, but communities have to ask the right difficult questions. Was every tactic used? Somebody tried to use a taser. If they only used a taser, would it have ended differently? Well, you got a person with a knife. Supreme Court allows officers to go one level higher than what's presented. You want to fight, use a taser. You get to kick me or fight me, get to pepper spray you. Like there's a force continuum, but you can go anywhere in it to match the threat. Was force reasonable? That is an objective. Was it objectively reasonable? Would any other law enforcement officer certified in the state of Wisconsin do the same thing that person did? That's not anti-police. It's pro accountability. The challenge we're faced with as a culture is asking questions. People think you're taking sides, and it shouldn't be. Those people in Madison that are protesting, they have a right to do so. They want good policing. They want accountability. And those things aren't opposite. In fact, they should be joined together. Good officers should welcome transparency. Welcome transparency. Say it again. Welcome transparency because it protects those who acted properly. So we can't assume every time a person gets shot or every time a person gets arrested or every time a person gets hurt, it's automatically bad for the police. And I mentioned it earlier. Madison doesn't have body cameras. People complain, oh, it'll invade my privacy. You're already in public and passing a camera every 5 steps you take. That's why they need body cameras. But they're also going to have to learn how to build public confidence after the shooting because it's eroding. Communities have to trust their police to do the right thing. Those that do trust the police will wait for the findings. They'll wait for the facts to come out. If you don't trust the police, you'll assume the worst. And so one way to look at trust is like, it's like a savings account. Every respectful encounter that you have with a citizen as a cop is a deposit. If you have a controversy like this, it's a withdrawal. And eventually, if you have enough trust built up, if your savings account is big enough, you can weather the storm. But if you can't, all hell breaks loose, and it looks like that's what's about to happen in Madison. Making a decision as an officer is split second, and it's something you'll never have to make. And one thing I can say to the officers, with extraordinary authority comes extraordinary responsibility. Now, you still need to respect the badge, right? But respect grows stronger when it's reinforced by accountability, transparency, and professionalism. But we can't assume that when something happens and someone's life is taken, that something was done wrong. It's not a political football. So Republicans go somewhere, sit down, shut up. Let the investigators do their job. Support the cops who acted lawfully. And when they don't, make sure they're charged. We can't compete between safety and public confidence. They legitimately stand together. If you lose just one of those, safety or public confidence, your city is going to trash. Because in the end, the strongest police departments aren't measured by how they enforce law. They're measured also by how much people they serve trust them to do it fairly. What am I trying to say in all this? Cops are responsible for their actions, but so are you. And that's it. I don't understand why people, yes, I do. I understand why people get upset. They get mad. I did. George Floyd, other shootings that have happened, Rice shooting, all sorts of things. Kids in parks with toy guns getting shot down. I get it. And so earlier we were talking about David Crowley. I put in the YouTube chat, basically, should David Crowley drop out of the Wisconsin governor's race again? 53% said yes, and 45% said no. So if you're interested in voting, you can go to youtube.com and subscribe to @DrKen's You'll be able to get in and take the poll and see what's going on. It's close to 50-50, but it's 55-45. But let me go through the YouTube chat and see what it is you're talking about before I roll out of here. Let me see. Better call us. Sincere said, I'm saying him. Okay, we read that, got that. We talked about the hokey pokey, talked about the shenanigans. And this LT got here. All right, let me go through here. Sir John said, you're absolutely correct. We're unequivocally not a swing state when we're talking about the politics and the governor's race. So why should it even matter? Yep, I'm piggybacking the same statement. Todd said, I cross party lines every election. Sincere said, laughing my blank off. Really, yo? Fleeing is fleeing by any means necessary. Talking about that young lady that just happened to drive 6 miles and 80 miles an hour to get away from the police. Hey, Babar, hey, what's going on? Todd said, I would flee from my grandmother's switch on foot. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. LT said, turf. LT said, tough turf. Anytime you want to sell a water bottle and somebody comes at you because they're mad at what you said or did to another 12-year-old and shoot you, that's a problem. LT said, watch this. Imagine if the community stood up against people like her and all other murderers in the community like they were this cop. There's more people speaking up about Madison than the mom and daughter. Yep. I complain about that all the time. Nobody is saying, why aren't you acting right? You shot a 12-year-old and shot at the 12-year-old's brother. Nobody has anything to say. A black person who shoots we just lost the father on the north side the other day. Nobody complained about it. There was no protests because when black people shoot black people, it's kind of what we get. I think it's unfortunate and we need to do something about it. I think we need to do something about it. Tony said, stop calling the police when things go bad. Handle it yourself if you hate the cops. Wow. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. So let me end my poll. Oh, wow. Are you kidding? Should David Crowley drop out of the Wisconsin governor's race again? I got a yes and a no, and it's at 50% each. I guess that's it. I guess the verdict is in. So when you do nothing, you just stay in the race. So I guess he'll stay in the race. Personally, I think you should stay in the race because we shouldn't hold somebody accountable for something they did 14 years ago. It's not like you were 50 and you did it 14 years ago, or 60 or 70 and you did it 14 years ago, right? Because you were a seasoned adult 14 years ago if you're 60. If you're in your early to mid 20s, you're not a seasoned adult. That's just me. You have a lot to learn in life and you have a lot of things to do. That's what I think. And so I think it's important that we remember that everybody should be forgiven, that you need to give grace to everybody to a point. Right? And so we have to be careful to make sure that we remain above reproach as citizens, that we don't do things that are going to cause such problems in our community. And we need to call out those things when we hear and see people doing things that they're not supposed to do. We have to. Otherwise, we're going to lose. I want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out today. Do my best to jump in tomorrow, even though it's Friday, because I only did 3 days this week. I want to go in and say thanks, Tony, Todd. I want to say thanks, LT, Babar, Sincere, Sir Chance, Lucretia, Kawanda. I think I saw Kathleen up in here as well. I want to say thanks for being here. I appreciate you hanging out and watching. Make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a thumbs up and let me know what you thought. SC is around here. SC talks in the beginning, and then she talks at the end. She says hi in the beginning, and then she says bye. That's it. Also want to say, Willie, appreciate you. There's Kathleen right there. Sir Chance. Hey, have a great evening. God bless. Take care. Be safe. It'll be a little warm, but it'll be okay.
Quiet.
Okay. Well, where's Todd at? You know what Todd is, right?
Ahead.
So I'm just saying. God bless. Take care. See you next time.